Kejriwal now to meet Delhi LG on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Will resign soon after. Doctors versus Mamta's deadlock continues. Doctors meet Mamta at her residence. Government denies live telecast but agrees to share minutes of meet. TMC calls doctors unresponsive. Home Minister Amit Shah ramps up BJP's mission. Jammu and Kashmir says NC Congress alliance won't be able to form government. Pledges to bury terrorism in the valley.
ये नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार है, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं है भारत की भूमि पर आतंकवाद को फंसाना।
Sandalwood actors escalate sex abuse probe demand. Kannada film body meets with actors. Raise demand for a separate panel for women's artists. Politics over 100 days of Modi 3.0. Modi government highlights projects worth 15 lakh crores in first 100 days. Congress hits out, says 100 days have been tough on institutions. One nation, one election in the works. Sources say the government is mulling a one nation, one poll bill in current Modi term. Opposition hits out, calls it a distant dream. Another Donald Trump assassination bid foiled. Shooting at ex-president's Florida golf club. Shooter nabbed AK-47 found on his person. All right, viewers, the focus now solely on the national capital. In less than 24 hours, we will find out who will be the next chief minister, because Arvind Kejriwal has decided that he is going to resign. But before that will be the all-crucial legislative party meet at the CM's residence tomorrow. The PSC meet ended just a short while back. All eyes on that, and news break coming in. Crucial Aam Aadmi Party huddle at Chief Minister's residence ends. Kejriwal holds one-on-one meet with AAP netas, seeking netas' feedback on the next Delhi Chief Minister. AAP MLAs to pick new CM in legislative meet on Tuesday.
मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने, जो कि आम आदमी पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष भी हैं, उन्होंने पीएसी यानी कि पॉलिटिकल अफेयर्स कमेटी की मीटिंग बुलाई थी। मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने सभी वहाँ पे मौजूद नेताओं और मंत्रियों से 1-to-1 नए मुख्यमंत्री के विषय में चर्चा की, उनसे फीडबैक लिया और कल विधायक दल की मीटिंग होगी और इस चर्चा को दूसरे चरण में कल विधायकों के साथ मुख्यमंत्री ले जाएंगे। आज उन्होंने एलजी साहब से इस्तीफा देने के लिए समय मांगा है और कल शाम का समय उन्हें मिला है।
All right, immediately cutting across outside the Chief Minister's residence, or just for a few hours, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence at 6 Flagstaff Road. My colleague Ashutosh Mishra joining us live. Ashutosh, the all-important PSC meeting ended. Word coming in, each of the PSC members were taken into confidence by Mr. Kejriwal, asking who would fit his shoes best for that interim 5-month period. What are your sources telling you?
Well, it looks like Arvind Kejriwal has yet again surprised everyone, because often these PSC meetings, and so far that I remember, never has been in a way that Arvind Kejriwal has taken individual opinion. In some certain other matter, individually may have been done. But calling a PSC meeting and then calling out each members alone and having discussion for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes about the new chief ministerial phase is something unprecedented for Arvind Kejriwal that has done. But again, he has surprised. So all these names are discussed, and as we have been knowing that along with the resignation, he'll be also submitting the letter of support for the new face and new chief minister. See, quite possibility about the ambitions and the battle of ambitions within the party. So just putting out one name, of course, in a majority like this, and he has most of the loyal people in the party, probably there could have been some resistance or some may have apprehension about particular name. So this was one idea that he got to just speak to the PAC members, and whatever consensus, whatever number he has attained, that will be, of course, with the observers in the meeting tomorrow. The party legislative meet at 1:30. The observers will put out the name before the legislative party to the all MLAs. That these are the names that were discussed. There, seems like the PAC members have majority on that terms, and looks like there is a consensus built upon certain names, and then only the MLAs will show their support to those.
Ashutosh, will you stay on with me? I'm going to come right back to you. Who are the probables? My colleague Ashutosh also reporting. I'm going to cut across right back to him. But before that, viewers, who's in contention right now to possibly be the interim chief minister for 5 months, at least till Delhi goes to polls in February? Because if there is, going to be continuity in terms of the government with the chief minister only getting replaced, it doesn't seem elections will happen anytime soon, which is in November as Arvind Kejriwal wanted. So it's another 5 months for the new chief minister to govern Delhi. What are the probables, the names making the rounds? Take a look.
मैं सीएम की कुर्सी से इस्तीफा देने जा रहा हूं और मैं तब तक सीएम की कुर्सी पे नहीं बैठूंगा जब तक जनता अपना फैसला ना सुना दे.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal all set to quit his post in hours from now. And now the big question is, who in the Aam Aadmi Party will get the top job? Top Aam Aadmi Party netas and MLAs are holding crucial meet in the national capital to find Kejriwal's successor. While Kejriwal had said 2 days to name the new CM pick, Aam Aadmi Party set a 7-day timeline for vote.
इस्तीफा जैसे ही मंजूर होगा, उसके बाद विधायक दल की जो है बैठक होगी. विधायक दल अपना एक नेता चुनेंगे. जो नेता चुना जाएगा वो अपना स्टेक टू पावर, जो अपना क्लेम है, वो उपराज्यपाल के माध्यम से राष्ट्रपति को अपना क्लेम देंगे. क्योंकि कोई ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं है, हमारे 60 विधायक हैं, तो जाहिर सी बात है उनको बुलावा आएगा, और जब वो बुलावा आएगा तो फिर वो जो है अपनी शपथ लेंगे. भारत माता की.
But who will replace Kejriwal as Delhi CM? The faces in focus are Atishi, Delhi minister who has rich governance experience and was chosen by Kejriwal to unfurl tricolour while he was in jail. Another potential name is Kailash Gehlot, Delhi minister who currently holds several top portfolios and is Kejriwal's trusted aide. Saurabh Bharadwaj is a 3-time MLA from Greater Kailash and holds portfolios such as vigilance and health. Minister Gopal Rai's name is also taking rounds as another contender for the CM's job. To add to the suspense, Aam Aadmi Party has not ruled out Kejriwal's wife Sunita for the top job. Sunita had led emotional fight for Kejriwal when he was behind bars.
So you're not ruling out Sunita Kejriwal. Basically, you're saying she's, if the legislators decide that she should be CM, she's one of the candidates as well, whose candidature will be discussed.
Or I am saying exactly what I said 10 minutes ago, that the legislative party has not even met yet. Once the legislative party meets, then only any decision will be taken. And as soon as we take a decision, don't worry, Rahul, we will inform you also.
The BJP accused Kejriwal of trying to install a remote-controlled dummy CM.
आप नवंबर में चुनाव कराने की बात कर रहे हैं, आप तुरंत मंत्रिमंडल बर्खास्त कीजिए, तुरंत कीजिए और अक्टूबर में चुनाव कराइए. मैं अग्नि परीक्षा के लिए अरविंद केजरीवाल को चुनौती देता हूं. क्या मतलब है अग्नि परीक्षा का? अग्नि परीक्षा का मतलब है सत्य का सामना करना. तो आओ आपके घर से शुरू करते हैं. खोलिए अपने राजमहल के दरवाजे और पहली अग्नि परीक्षा ये दीजिए कि दिल्ली के हर आदमी को बुलाइए कि आइए मेरा घर देखिए, वो ऐशगाह देखिए, वो राजमहल देखिए जिसमें अरविंद केजरीवाल मैं रहता हूं. आप तो आम आदमी है ना.
Will Kejriwal's big gamble pay off in coming polls, or will liquor scam heat take fresh toll? With Amit Bharadwaj in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
right, so the latest news also coming in that after the PAC meet today, the Political Affairs Committee that met today, big decision-making body where the Aam Aadmi Party was concerned. Now tomorrow morning is when the Legislative Party will meet, and that is when the main decision and the zeroing in on a name will take place. Today, there were members of the PAC who spoke one-on-one on Arvind Kejriwal, raising objections on certain names that they might have apprehensions of, and the meeting was on one-on-one, and then all the PAC members sat together to deliberate. And tomorrow, Arvind Kejriwal will now be meeting the party legislative, and that is when it will be decided on the name that will replace Arvind Kejriwal. After a name is penciled in by the legislative party, that is when Arvind Kejriwal will seek an appointment, the time already given at 4:30 p.m. By the Lieutenant Governor, and he is going to resign, and he will give the name for the person who is going to be leading the legislative party. Both Piyush as well as Ashutosh, who is joining us right now with more. Ashutosh, the biggest news also coming in from the PAC is, while some members went ahead and gave suggestions of names, there have been a few, Ashutosh, and one needs to underline that, who suggested it is best to dissolve the assembly.
Remember day before yesterday when there was a meeting about when Arvind Kejriwal told everyone about the resignation that he should resign. In fact, few of these members already knew about Arvind Kejriwal's decision. Remember, Sunita Kejriwal has been meeting him inside the jail. But when it was formally put up with the senior party leader, there was also suggestion that it's better to dissolve the assembly. Yes. And in that case, there could be a binding to hold the elections along with Jharkhand and Maharashtra. But remember, 2013, they have tried this formula when, they recommended to dissolve the assembly. Arvind Kejriwal resigned. But then Delhi being union territory, the Lieutenant Governor, the President put in a suspended animation, and the election was carried out only in 2015. So this time the Aam Aadmi Party would not take any chance, because remember, Delhi has become a literally executive laboratory. A lot of experiments are being in Delhi by the centre. So clearly they would not want to take any chance in that case, even resigning and then recommending dissolution of, and remember, the LG is not really abide by the cabinet decision. So even the cabinet decides to dissolve the assembly, send a recommendation, that will not be binding on the MHA and Lieutenant Governor and of course the President. So clearly on that time they would not take a risk. And Arvind Kejriwal, head of the executive, head of the Electric Council, he knows these terms very pragmatically. So certain ideas may have come during the meeting, but Arvind Kejriwal, for the fact of the matter, that knowing the reality, could not be really possible to do this at this moment.
Well, you're right there, but word also coming in that two of the members of the PAC once again raised the issue whether the assembly should be dissolved or not. That could politically benefit the Aam Aadmi Party, but like Ashutosh said, it could very well backfire as well. It's happened in the past. Arvind Kejriwal is an astute politician. He wants to play his cards politically, but he wants to also make sure that his party is on safe grounds. I want to cut across to Piyush, who's joining us. Piyush, in all of this, the LG now has given time for 4:30 p.m. for Arvind Kejriwal to come in.
Well, that's confirmed, and for tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Preeti, we are learning is that Arvind Kejriwal will be there at the doorsteps of LG House, and he is likely to resign from the post of Chief Minister. And like Ashutosh is reporting from the venue where the PAC meeting is taking place, by tomorrow or by day after tomorrow, the Aam Aadmi Party is likely to zero in on the new Chief Minister. But what is more important here is to highlight how the BJP is looking at it. I was talking to a senior BJP leader. He told me that BJP did not have even an iota of idea that Arvind Kejriwal would resign at 11 a.m. Yes, they were putting a lot of pressure on Arvind Kejriwal, but him announcing from the stage that he would be resigning from the post of Chief Minister was certainly a shock. But at the same time, BJP is very much happy. They are saying that now they have got an opportunity to hit back at Aam Aadmi Party, at Arvind Kejriwal, that he resigned under the pressure of BJP, and now they are going to go among the people of Delhi, where they are going to highlight the various corrupt practices in which Aam Aadmi Party leaders have indulged into. They're also saying that what Arvind Kejriwal is doing is nothing less than theatrics and PR stunt, and he's known for this. This is what the BJP is saying. So at one side, BJP is somewhere trying to show that it is very much confident and is also to form the next government in Delhi. On the other side, we are seeing how the Aam Aadmi Party is now preparing for the polls, and that is why we are seeing how Arvind Kejriwal, after resigning, will be having a lot of control over the party. He will be leading the campaign. Not only him, but other leaders also will be the part of that entire campaign, which will not only help the Aam Aadmi Party in Haryana Assembly polls, but also the Delhi Assembly polls.
All right, you stay with me, Piyush. I want to quickly, bring in Ashutosh as well and take our viewers through, because viewers, where the PAC meeting was concerned, the leaders gave their point of view. Tomorrow is going to be the all-important Vidhayak Dal meeting, the legislative party meet, and that is when a name will be penciled in, and Arvind Kejriwal will take that name to the LG when he tenders in his resignation, saying that he is the new head of the legislative party. But I want to quickly take you through the probables, and Ashutosh continues to be with us. Now, the big question, viewers, is, once Arvind Kejriwal resigns, who could be the next chief minister? 5 names that are making the rounds. A quick SWOT analysis on each, and understandably, in terms of guessing, the lowest hanging fruit is nobody else but the person on your chief minister on your television screen. Atishi, already functioning as the de facto CM. Atishi oversees 14 portfolios, the highest number held by a minister in the Delhi government presently. Many strengths, and the biggest of them stems from the fact that she's administratively experienced with maximum portfolios in hand. And most importantly, in Delhi, where governance is concerned, a lot of it is channeled through the bureaucracy. Atishi is very well versed on how the bureaucracy in Delhi works. What adds to the benefit of Atishi is that she's a strong woman face of the Aam Aadmi Party. Chosen by Arvind Kejriwal to hoist the tricolour on August 15th, clearly seen as an indication that she was the choice of Arvind Kejriwal to step into his shoes when he was not there. Known to be Arvind Kejriwal's confidant, but there are weaknesses as well. Her choice can upset other senior leaders in the Aam Aadmi Party who feel that she'd be overstepping them and their seniority. And then the question comes in of mass acceptability in party. Will the AAP cadre accept her? Some of the cadre closer to other leaders where Delhi is concerned. The second name, which has been making the rounds, of course, many say, administratively speaking, it should be Atishi who should replace Arvind Kejriwal. Politically speaking, there are other names that are being considered. Kailash Gehlot in the race. He's a Jat face of Aam Aadmi Party. Political messaging strong right before Haryana polls, especially when Delhi comes to polls. What is perceived to be, that Aam Aadmi Party loosening its grip on outer Delhi, which is dominated by Jats, could be messaging there as well. He's a senior leader. Many feel yet to get his due. Now, what are the weaknesses here? Little administrative experience where Delhi is concerned. Of course, he's held a number of portfolios, but if you go back, even last year, the portfolio of law was taken from him and handed over to Atishi. Having said that, he's also an accused in the alleged transport scam. He was questioned in the ED liquor scam by the ED as well. But the most important, which could work against him, can he be trusted by Arvind Kejriwal? Because whoever the pick is going to be the most trusted of Arvind Kejriwal. Third name in the race, Gopal Rai. The strengths of Gopal Rai, of course, one of the most senior leaders of Aam Aadmi Party, a founding member of AAP, has good hold amongst the Purvanchal voters, popular with the Aam Aadmi Party cadre in Delhi. Weakness, been politically less active due to ill health. Little administrative experience where running Delhi is concerned. Fourth name in the race, Saurabh Bhardwaj, has been second to Atishi in running Delhi. Kejriwal's very trusted leader. If you see, he's the one who's been fronting most press conferences. Important player in Delhi governance, holds a number of portfolios and acceptance within senior leadership. He has a reputation of taking everyone along. Now, the weaknesses of Saurabh Bhardwaj, choice as CM, like in Atishi's case, might upset senior leadership in the Aam Aadmi Party and has largely been seen assisting Atishi, not taking to the front on his own. Fifth name, and this is a surprise package, many say, but also in the running, Rakhi Birla. Strengths, woman Dalit face, and where the Dalit face comes into question is important because the Aam Aadmi Party is kind of wary, viewers, that the Congress, if it's on a resurgence in Delhi, is possibly going to target the Dalit vote bank. She could help there. She's an old Aam Aadmi Party hand, risen from the ranks where the cadre is concerned, currently the deputy speaker in assembly. Weaknesses, little administrative experience, in terms of her choice may upset certain senior leaders, and alleged old corruption charges against Rakhi Birla as well. Ashutosh, what's your bet? Who do you think could be the pick?
Well, since you're adding a lot of names about the possible faces, let's add Rakhi Birla and also Kuldeep Kumar, since they both are being Dalit face, and they could also be a game changer. But there are certain lessons, Preeti, in the recent history. So clearly, Aam Aadmi Party would not take any such mistake that post-election that could trigger further, a larger conflict or a larger escalation within the party. So safe side, someone who's very loyal, someone who has administrative experience, and someone who's also good in terms with the bureaucracy handling the situation and quite
You're practically saying it's Atishi.
Taking over two major. It's actually Atishi, even my bet on Atishi, because I remember two major schemes that Arvind Kejriwal wanted to implement just before the elections, and that will be a contention. So here, again, looks like a woman is going to be the Chief Minister of Delhi.
You're brave, Ashutosh, doing Arvind Kejriwal, already putting his money where Atishi is concerned. We don't know, but we'll know tomorrow for sure. But we've given you the options there. But if you look at it, it does seem that in all probability, it would be Atishi. She's been doing it, all along. And she's very, very trusted where Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you, Ashutosh and Piyush, for joining us. Getting into a quick break. Do stay with us. On the other side is To The Point, where we're going to continue the conversation further.
Shut the door. Your antics make me bored, cause I just came around to say hello.
Motorola Razr 50. Flip the script.
Hello, Moto.
India Today Conclave 2024. September 25th and 26th, Mumbai. Book your seat now. Visit indiatodayconclave.com.
We are here to demand, put up mainly 7 demands. Our demands are, first demands are transparent and impartial investigation by the investigating agency, that is CBI, right now. And the second thing is to ensure accountability of the health administration, and for that we demand immediate removal of the top brass, including the Health Secretary, the Director of Medical Education and Director of Health Services. The third demand is immediate removal of the Commissioner of Police and other 2 Deputy Commissioners, DC North and DC Central. We are also demanding to bring in public domain the actual facts relating to the alleged deaths due to the siege work by the junior doctors. The government is apparently misleading in the highest court of the country. So we demand bringing in the true facts and figures from the government government portal. There are portals, certain portals where death data are recorded regularly, like Key Performance Indicators portal and HMIS portal.
मैं पहले से ही बता रहा था, राजनीति में नहीं जाना, समाज की सेवा करो, बहुत बड़ा आदमी बन जाएगा। कई साल हम लोग साथ में थे, उस टाइम बार बार मैं कह रहा था कि राजनीति में नहीं जाना, समाज सेवा ये अपने जीवन में आनंद देती है, वो आनंद में डूबे रह रहा हूँ। लेकिन उसके दिल में नहीं लगा, वो बात आई नहीं, और आज जो होना तो हो गया।
केंद्रीय एजेंसीज तो बीजेपी के ही ऑफिस से चलती है, और अगर आप देखें तो जो अरविंद केजरीवाल साहब है, निडर है, एक निडर लीडर है, और वही बिना डरते हुए आज लड़ते हैं, संविधान के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, देश के हित के लिए लड़ रहे हैं। वैसे ही सिसोदिया जी है, हमारे यहाँ सूरज चौहान अभी भी अंदर है, लेकिन वो भी लड़ रहे हैं। अनिल देशमुख जी हो, संजय राउत जी हो, जो लड़ रहे हैं देश के लिए, वो बिना डरे हुए दिखा रहे कि उनकी भी जो सीना है वो भी काफी मजबूत है।
ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया ने उन्हें इस योग्य नहीं समझा कि वो सीएम कार्यालय जाए, ना उन्हें इस योग्य समझा कि सीएम पद का निर्वाह करते हुए किसी भी फाइल पर हस्ताक्षर कर सकें। आज माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने अपनी इस बेल कंडीशन की विवशता पर नैतिकता का आवरण डालने का प्रयास करा है और एक राजनीतिक ढोंग रचने का प्रयास करा है। दिल्ली की जनता ये जानती है कि अगर उनको इस्तीफा देना ही था तो उनको 48 घंटे की आवश्यकता क्यों है? क्या उनके राजनीतिक दल में किसी प्रकार का सत्ता के मुंह को लेकर दंगल चल रहा है क्या?
ये उनका मर्जी, जब करे जेल के अंदर भी वो सीएम रहे, बाहर भी रह सकते हैं। जब किसी ने जेल के अंदर सीएम बने सकते, बाहर क्यों नहीं? हो सकता है उनके दूसरे काम में कोई ज्यादा इस समय तवज्जो देने की जरूरत होती है, हो सकते। ये तर्जिया कौन से कहां क्या देगा ना देगा, ये उनकी अपना मर्जी की माफिक होना चाहिए।
वो कह रहे हैं कि उनका मनोबल गिराने के लिए उन्हें जेल में
हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है, जब कह रहे हैं।
Aam Aadmi Party in a huddle. Top up leadership at Kejriwal's residence. Highest decision-making body, the PAC, ready to elect a new CM. Legislative party to meet on Tuesday morning. The name for next Delhi CM to be discussed. Arvind Kejriwal set to resign post new CM name is announced. Next 24 hours Delhi to get a new chief minister. Arvind Kejriwal to go back to the Aam Aadmi drawing board, reinvent the Aam Aadmi image. Will leave residence days after resignation. What next for Kejriwal? From anti-graft crusader to muffler man to Delhi chief minister. And now back to being the Aam Aadmi. Will the gamble pay off? Top focus on To The Point this evening. All right, good evening. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Will the gamble pay off for Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, especially when it comes to the very crucial Delhi election? Because yes, they're fighting in Haryana on the 90 seats, but the goal is very clear. They need to retain Delhi if the Aam Aadmi Party needs to stay relevant. News break coming in. All right, big buzz now over the next Delhi Chief Minister. Sources say Arvind Kejriwal's close aide Atishi is now the top choice. Woman Aam Aadmi Party Neta likely to be the Chief Minister. AAP MLAs to pick Delhi new CM face tomorrow. Who will be Arvind Kejriwal's successor? And right now it does seem that everything points towards only one leader who is already the de facto CM of Delhi, Atishi, already holding 14 portfolios where Delhi is concerned. Administratively dealing with the bureaucracy in Delhi, because mind you, if you have to govern Delhi, you need to know your ways around the Delhi bureaucracy, and she has been adept at doing so. But above all, Atishi is seen as a close loyalist and a confidant of the Delhi Chief Minister. Will she be the one? That's the big question. Let's cut across to our guest this evening. Joining me, Akshay Marathe, National Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party. Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party. Joining us as well will be Rajdeep Sardesai in a short while from now. Akshay Marathe, it does seem that right now the odds in favor of Atishi to replace Arvind Kejriwal.
Preeti, you very well know that I'm not authorized to reveal any names of a future Chief Minister of Delhi. And the reason I'm not authorized to do that is because we have a constitutional process in place. The process clearly dictates that the right to name a new Chief Minister lays solely with the elected members of the Delhi Legislative Assembly. And as you have heard from Saurabh Bharadwaj, who just addressed the media a few minutes ago, he has made it clear that the Political Affairs Committee, which is the main decision-making body of the Aam Aadmi Party, has already convened.
Okay.
The Chief Minister has taken the opinions of every single senior leader of the party who is a member of the PAC, as well as who is in the Delhi cabinet. And tomorrow, the MLAs will sit together and make a decision on who will be the next Chief Minister of Delhi. But I can assure you, Preeti, that the next Chief Minister of Delhi will be an honest person, will be somebody who has a high caliber, high empathy for the people of Delhi, and who will serve the people of Delhi with the same commitment that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has for the last 10 years. Because
Akshay Marathe, many would also say the next Chief Minister has to be a loyalist and somebody who the Delhi Chief Minister implicitly trusts. But we're going to come right back to that question and what comes of Arvind Kejriwal from here on, cutting across to Guru Prakash Paswan. Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan, the fact is, one thing is clear, that be it a gamble that pays off or misfires, it's gotten under the BJP skin. Because yes, Arvind Kejriwal has resigned, exactly what you wanted, but he's done it on his own terms, especially after being given bail by the Supreme Court.
No, Preeti, I think we must understand, and we must not underestimate the political understanding of the people of Delhi and the people of this country. They can no longer be taken for granted. What Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is projecting is for victimhood, is for martyrdom, but that's not happening. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and people of Delhi are very well aware of the fact that he is out on bail. He is not exonerated of those charges, and Justice Suryakant's comment in the bail application is out in the public domain. But Preeti, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is a Vichitra case in Indian politics. He's a very unique case in Indian politics. His transition, his succession, his political hierarchy is just beyond our comprehension. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party is the only political project that since its inception, the only chief of Aam Aadmi Party has been Arvind Kejriwal. My friend from the Aam Aadmi Party was talking about some supposed fictitious Aam Aadmi Party constitution. I am completely surprised, Preeti. Only one chief of party, only one chief minister since the inception of Aam Aadmi Party. So I think there is absolutely no denial of the fact that this is political drama, this is PR stunt, this is a strategic maneuver of changing the public perception. Why did Mr. Arvind Kejriwal resign just immediately in the aftermath of his bail? It is bail, it is not exoneration. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, his political party has just become a big political drama, has just become a big political TV series, which we must understand. Through all these entire optics, he is doing nothing, but it is a projection of martyrdom. He is trying to manipulate the narrative of the public perception. The public perception is out in the open. but you can no longer fool the people of Delhi, Preeti. The people of Delhi have made their minds clear. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's actual court will happen next year when the Delhi Assembly elections happen, and we will see what happened in the last year parliamentary election. This year's parliamentary election, 7 out of 7 Lok Sabha seats. People of Delhi have certainly made up their minds. They are going to stand with BJP and not with someone who was in jail, who is out on bail.
All right, okay. I'm going to cut across to Rajdeep Sardesai as well, but Akshay Marathi, you want to come in, as the BJP says, nothing short of theatrics and drama.
Preeti, I want to say that yesterday was a historic day in Indian politics. It was historic because we have a chief minister of a state like Delhi saying in the public domain that elect me only if you think I am an honest man. Do you think any other politician in India today has the guts to come out and say, elect me only if I'm honest? It is only Arvind Kejriwal who has the guts to say that, because he has gone through a Agni Pariksha of several court cases and investigations. And at the end of all of that, what did we find out from the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court called the CBI a caged parrot. The Supreme Court actually vindicated our stand from day one, that because we have a perception of an honest party, an honest leader, the BJP couldn't tolerate that. The BJP went after Arvind Kejriwal to destroy his image of an honest man. And today he wants to recover that image. He wants to remind the people that actually it is his party, it is him who showed that an honest politics is possible and it can continue to sustain itself.
But okay, Akshay Marathi, as Guru Prakash Paswan says, he's been given bail. He's not been acquitted.
Absolutely. And at this stage of the case, only a bail could have been possible.
Okay.
There was no trial. You very well know, Preeti, the trial has not even started. That's the most shocking part of this whole case.
Guru Prakash Paswan, I'll just come back to you. I just want to cut across to Rajdeep Sardesai, who's in the studio with us. Rajdeep, bail, conviction, all of that aside, but the big question now is, where does Arvind Kejriwal go from here? Because he's gone back to the Aam Aadmi drawing board. He will need to reinvent himself, because one thing is clear, the image has taken a hit. Where do you see the path from here on for him?
Look, I think for Arvind Kejriwal, the next 4 months, Preeti, are really do or die. Here is a politician who rose had a meteoric rise in Indian politics, created a startup that not only captured power in its very first election, but in the last decade has been in power in 2 states. And I don't think too many political parties have achieved that. But I think for Arvind Kejriwal, this is, as you rightly said, an opportunity to go back to the drawing board, to show that he is truly an Aam Aadmi. I think the biggest blow that he's taken is because the opposition his opponents have been able to successfully portray him as a leader who made a number of promises when it came to anti-corruption, but now finds himself encircled with these corruption allegations. Whether those allegations are proven or not will be decided in the court. But the fact is, a perception was created that here was a chief minister who was in jail and still was not resigning. And I think the opposition was able to some extent, push Arvind Kejriwal into a corner. Now, he's the one who's gone on the front foot. Whichever way you look at it, by resigning in the manner that he certainly has given himself another chance to capture the narrative. Whether he can do that, Preeti, it's going to be a huge challenge. And I think the challenge starts tomorrow itself with the choice of his chief ministership. It also depends on how the Congress importantly responds. And of course, it depends on whether in the next 4 months, he can make Arvind Kejriwal the core issue of the Delhi election. Without Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal will be considerably weakened at the national level.
Stay with me, Rajdeep. Dr. Paswan wanted to make a point. Come in, Dr. Paswan, very quickly.
No, Preeti, I think I just had to respond to the spokesperson from the Aam Aadmi Party. Let me just quote from the Supreme Court verdict categorically. Justice Suryakant has said, and I quote, he said the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal was not in question. There was absolutely no procedural irregularity as far as his arrest is concerned. This is Justice Suryakant. This is not the BJP perspective. Number 2, Preeti, Rajdeep ji was also talking about accountability and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, his failure on the deliver of promises. There is a report by India Today itself that from the 2015 manifesto of Aam Aadmi Party, 65% of the promises are pending. 20% there is absolutely no progress. So there are very logical and legitimate questions. Is he trying to deviate there is absolutely a presence of anti-incumbency factor. There is absolutely an attempt to create sympathy in favor of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, in favor of Aam Aadmi Party. But like I said, the collective consciousness of people of Delhi is such that you can no longer fool them. And they have shown this in 2024 parliamentary election by giving 7 out of 7 seats to the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Dr. Paswan, you're nicely quoting, one order, but maybe I'll bring in Akshay Marathe to quote Justice Bhuyan.
No, it's very interesting. The relevant portion of that order actually was that the CBI may have the power to arrest someone. But why did they have to arrest Arvind Kejriwal on the eve of his bail order from the Enforcement Directorate? He was arrested by the CBI on that particular day so that the ED's bail order that Arvind Kejriwal was about to get would be frustrated and he would remain in jail for a longer period of time. So that is the conspiracy that the Supreme Court exposed. And the BJP still doesn't have the shame to come out and apologize to the people of Delhi for jailing their chief minister on a false case without having any evidence, without proving the case in court. Let the trial happen, let them prove their charges, and then you can take action against anybody. But without a trial, you have just thrown an innocent man who was, who was the ray of hope in India for a new kind of politics. He was trying to show a new direction to India's politics, and BJP actually has cost India. It is an opportunity cost that India has had to pay because
it's really interesting because both these arguments, one from Dr. Paswan and one from Akshay Marathe, completely at the two ends of this spectrum. One would think one is schizophrenic if you're talking about Arvind Kejriwal. But Rajdeep, I'll bring you in. What's the best way? Because there wasn't much, he had his back to the wall, Rajdeep, where Arvind Kejriwal was concerned. He's decided to take that risk. He's decided to personalize an election. There is anti-incumbency, there is charges of graft, but he wants to do away with all of that and say, make it about whether the people should again elect Arvind Kejriwal as CM.
Preeti, at one level, you have to say he's making a virtue out of a necessity. The fact is, after that Supreme Court order, even though he got bail, he knew that he was a very hamstrung chief minister. There was only so much he could do. I can't go to the secretariat. There were various restrictions. He was in this running battle with the lieutenant governor. So I think he's taken, in this adversity, he has seen some opportunity. I think the one advantage that he still does have is that in Delhi, over the last decade, both the Congress and the BJP have been unable to throw up a credible counter leadership. I keep making this point. Narendra Modi ji, under his leadership, the BJP swept Delhi 2014, 2019, 2024 Lok Sabha. And yet that has not reflected in the BJP's performance in the Vidhan Sabha. They did get a slight bump last time in the aftermath of the Shaheen Bagh protests. But overall, you can see that the BJP has not, over these last 15 years or last 10 years, been able to throw up a strong, credible leadership in Delhi. And the same thing, to some extent, goes to the Congress. I mean, look at the situation. The Congress appointed Arvinder Singh Lovely as their chief ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. What happens? Arvinder Singh Lovely leaves the Congress and goes back to the BJP for the second time. I mean, the party in that sense has been unable to cultivate a strong, credible leadership. Those who are today within the Congress speaking out against Arvind Kejriwal are the likes of Sandeep Dixit, whom their own party has marginalized in the last decade. So I think the one advantage that Arvind Kejriwal has is that both his rivals also suffer from, both the main other parties also suffer from a credibility deficit. The one disadvantage that he has is that the idealism that he brought to the table 10 years ago no longer exists. If Arvind Kejriwal thinks resigning this time will give him the same equity that it gave him in 2014, I think he's mistaken. He's got a tougher battle now because he does have 10 years of anti-incumbency of his MLAs and himself that he has to combat on the ground, Preeti.
Akshay Marathe, you can answer that, but when you talk of an opportunity, it could have been anybody else, but this wasn't supposed to be the Aam Aadmi Party where you move into a palatial CM bungalow where you change your cars. All of that has stuck, Akshay Marathe. Now, how do you undo that? Will there be an attempt to undo it?
Preeti, what has actually stuck on Aam Aadmi Party is our record on governance. Arvind Kejriwal is the man who who provided 18 lakh children of Delhi world-class education when it was unimaginable that government schools can become as good as they have now become in Delhi's government schools. He has provided mohalla clinics to over 4 crore total patients in their OPDs. What has stuck is the 75% of Delhi that gets access to 200 units of free power. What has stuck is the 70% of Delhi that gets access to free water. So the people of Delhi are convinced that Arvind Kejriwal is the only chief minister who can make their lives
and
better.
Akshay Marathe, they conveniently forgot that when you went to them in Lok Sabha and said, jail ka jawab vote se, kyunki you never got that vote.
No, it was a different election. It was not to elect the chief minister of Delhi. If Arvind Kejriwal was on the ballot as, for the chief minister position of Delhi, we would have swept all 70 seats of Delhi. It was a different election. It was for the national level.
But Dr. Paswan, Akshay Marathe is not quite far from the truth. Other than the taint of graft, it's happened in 2 consecutive elections for Arvind Kejriwal, where he's been wiped out, where the Lok Sabha is concerned, but gone on to sweep Delhi.
No, Preeti, let me first respond to Rajdeep ji. Rajdeep ji, you are a very senior journalist and you would remember Madan Lal Khurana ji, Vijay Malhotra ji, Sushma Swaraj ji. So Delhi has produced a lot of BJP stalwarts.
Of course,
so to suggest or to indicate that Delhi...
No, Paswan ji, just a clarification. I mentioned the last decade. You are talking about leaders who came to power 40, 50 years ago.
Sir.
Go ahead, make your point, Dr. Paswan.
Sir, thank you. Sir, but to suggest that Delhi has failed to produce any leadership across the time and space, I think I personally find it a little bit preposterous. But
no, name me one. Name me one strong leader you have thrown up in the last 10 years. Okay. Just a minute. You have to name me one. Name me one you have thrown up in the last 10 years.
No. Oh no, see, leaders emerged, Rajdeep ji, in the political process in the Bharatiya Janata Party. Were you aware of Manohar Lal Khattar before he became chief minister? Absolutely not. Were you aware of Narendra Modi before he became the Gujarat chief minister? Absolutely not. So leaders in the system of Bharatiya Janata Party, which is not a family-run enterprise, emerge. Leaders are cultivated organizationally. There are systems, there are checks and balances through which leadership emerges in the Bharatiya Janata Party. So to suggest that one state or one union territory is bereft of any political leadership is something which I disagree with. Second, Preeti, we must understand that today Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, and all of us can do selective and very convenient readings of the Supreme Court verdict. But today Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, like Rajdeep ji also suggested, he wanted to run Delhi from Tihar jail. He is nothing today but a glorified version of Syed Shahabuddin and Lalu Prasad Yadav, which Rajdeep ji would very well remember. Both of them, Shahabuddin wanted to run Siwan from jail. Lalu ji wanted to run Bihar from jail. And similarly, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal wanted to run Delhi from jail. If Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is exonerated, as it is being suggested by my friend from the Aam Aadmi Party, why is he not allowed to go to the secretariat? Why is he not allowed to sign papers? So we have to understand, it is nothing but political optics. It is nothing but political theatrics. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has got a PhD when it comes to creating narratives. It is an emotional effort
but isn't that
to
politics?
manipulate the perception of the people of Delhi. But he has to understand.
Okay, all right, okay.
2024 parliamentary election.
Akshay Marathe, very quickly.
The Aam Aadmi Party is quoting the assembly election results.
The BJP's main grounds against us was that Arvind Kejriwal was not resigning when he was in jail, and they claimed that Arvind Kejriwal is greedy for power. And that's why he's not resigning. But now he's come out of jail and he's chosen to resign when he had the opportunity to take the benefits of the power. But instead he has chosen to sacrifice his seat and he has gone back to the people. That is the true character of a good leader, who has said that I want the mandate of the people, I want validation from my people. He did not stick on to the chair just because he was elected as chief minister. He said, okay, you have made allegations against me. I'm going back to my people who have sent me there with 62 seats the last time. This time give me 70 seats.
All right, we're going to be joined by Atishi, who's now the top contender in just a short while. But I want to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai, who's with us. Rajdeep, interesting in terms of the choice of chief minister. Front runner right now, seemingly Atishi, safe choice, close to the chief minister, a loyalist there, in with the administration, holds 14 portfolios, and importantly knows the workings of the bureaucracy.
I don't want to.
Could it be her? That's the big question.
I don't want to predict kaun banega Mukhyamantri, but if I were a betting man, and I'm not, I would say it's going to be a surprise choice. All the names that you mentioned as the top contenders, don't be surprised if it is someone who's a wild card. I won't be surprised if the next Chief Minister of Delhi is an unexpected choice and will reflect the political calculations of Arvind Kejriwal at the moment more than necessarily governance track record. With 4 months to go, an election coming up, Preeti, in just 4 to 6 months, Mr. Kejriwal will want someone as a Chief Minister who can be a symbolic figure of the politics that he wants to represent, project himself, as I said at the very outset, recast his original Aam Aadmi image. So expect someone who reflects in a way the original Aam Aadmi identity. I don't want to say more, but that's my sense.
All right, we're going to come right back to that. In just a minute, we'll be joined by Atishi, but a quick break, back soon. Stay with us.
Shut the door. Your antics make me bored, cause I just came around to say hello.
Motorola Razr 50. Flip the script.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. PM Modi's big statement in Gujarat's Gandhinagar says he does not come under pressure in any circumstances. BJP MLA Nitesh Rane booked for hate speech at Ganpati program in Navi Mumbai. Election Commission of India ensures enhanced security amid Jammu and Kashmir poll threats candidates to get more security.
One nation, one election is not possible under the present constitution. It requires at least 5 constitution amendments. And Mr. Modi does not have the majority to put those constitution amendments in either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Therefore, I've seen some senior person of the BJP has anonymously briefed all the newspapers stationed in Delhi, and all the newspapers today carry the headline, "One nation, one election will be implemented in this term." That's what Mr. Modi said when he passed the farm laws. But the farm laws.
All right, joining me for this big exclusive is Atishi. Her name is now the front runner for the next Delhi Chief Minister. Atishi, am I speaking to the next Delhi Chief Minister?
Preeti, first of all, tomorrow is the meeting of the Aam Aadmi Party Legislative Party. There the decision will be taken. I think the question is not who's going to be the Delhi Chief Minister. I think the question is that is the work that the Arvind Kejriwal government has been doing in the last 4.5 years, is that going to be continued? And that I can assure you that Aam Aadmi Party has always continued to work for the people of Delhi, and it will continue to do so.
Atishi, the PAC meeting, and what we've gotten out of that is that most people actually suggested your name. And it does seem that, of course, I know, you're not at the liberty to say, but because of your administrative experience, your dealings with the bureaucracy, where Delhi is concerned, already handling 14 portfolios, it's all helped, at least where confidence is concerned of the leadership.
See, first of all, anyone who's giving you that information is wrong, because the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had one-to-one meetings with everyone. So he is the only one who knows what everybody suggested, number one. Number two, finally, it is the legislative party that is going to decide. Plus, I think that the bigger issue that we are discussing now is not who's going to be the chief minister for the next 1 month, 2 months or 3 months. I think the bigger issue at question here is the fact that in Delhi, you have a chief minister like Arvind Kejriwal, who for a test of his honesty is willing to give up the chair of a chief minister in an era where no one even is ready to give up the job of a PM. And I think that is really what needs to be discussed and debated.
But you know, Atishi, the BJP and many say that this is nothing but theatrics and dramatics that the chief minister is resorting to. It's not an election which will take place in 2 or 3 months, but at least 5 months from now. Because if there is a caretaker CM, the EC has already given an indication that elections will not happen before February.
Elections can happen at any point of time, Preeti. There is less than 6 months left for the dissolution of the Delhi Assembly. And with a period of less than 6 months, the Election Commission can hold elections at any point of time. November, the Maharashtra Assembly elections are happening. And if the Election Commission so chooses, they can have elections at that point of time.
Last question I'll ask you, Atishi, the last 2 questions is now Arvind Kejriwal, because there seemingly is an understanding that the image has taken a dent of the Aam Aadmi Party. Going back to the drawing board of the Aam Aadmi and reinvent what he started off with to be the common man?
See, I think to understand Arvind Kejriwal's resignation, you have to understand Arvind Kejriwal, the person. Right? Here is someone who was an income tax commissioner, an IRS officer, who gave up that cushy job, which people used to generate enough wealth for 7 generations. He left that job to work in the slums of Delhi. A man who created a party from zero, became chief minister after fighting his first elections, resigned from that post because he could not fulfill the promise of an anti-corruption law. So for that man, think of his pain when he has corruption allegations against him. Yes, the court has given him bail. Yes, the Supreme Court has said that the CBI and ED are not independent agencies, they are caged parrots. But I think Arvind Kejriwal's pain is that the people of Delhi whom he has been serving for these last 10 years, do they somewhere think that he has done something wrong? And that is why it's not enough for him that he has got a decision in his favor from the Supreme Court. He wants a decision on his honesty from the people of Delhi. And that is the reason why he has resigned.
All right, so the new name will be announced tomorrow before he puts in his resignation, Atishi. I'm sure you were also taken into confidence. Who do you think would be the best to fill those shoes, if not you?
I think that the legislative party will take its own decision, number 1. And number 2, I think whoever becomes the chief minister, our leader Arvind Kejriwal would always be there to guide them on the governance of Delhi.
Is dissolution of the assembly still an option?
As I said, Preeti, the assembly does not need to be dissolved. Election Commission can have elections at any point of time in the last 6 months. And as we know, the Election Commission is controlled almost entirely by the BJP. So when the elections are held, whether assembly is dissolved, whether it is not dissolved, whether only the CM resigns or whether the cabinet dissolves the assembly, that is entirely in the hands of the BJP. They can have elections with the Maharashtra elections, they can have them after a month, they can have them in February. That the central government has to decide.
Okay. All right, Atishi, what we're going to do is we're going to withhold congratulations because, like you said, we'll only know after the Vidhayak Dal meets tomorrow, the legislative party meeting. Thank you for joining us. For now, at least our sources tell us you're the front runner, but we're going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining us, Atishi. A quick break. Taking it further on the other side is Rahul Kamal.
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies.
Co-presented by Club Prime, Raho Befikar.
Co-presented by New Seltos with Kia Connect. Tech is now badass.
Co-powered by The Bold Look of Kohler.
Good evening and welcome. Delhi ka king ya queen kaun? Who's likely to be the next chief minister of Delhi and why? We'll get you the shortlist. We'll do a strength analysis. All that and more coming up on the News Track tonight.
आज से 2 दिन के बाद मैं सीएम की कुर्सी से इस्तीफा देने जा रहा हूं और मैं तब तक सीएम की कुर्सी पे नहीं बैठूंगा जब तक जनता अपना फैसला ना सुना दे।
Hours to go for Kejriwal's resignation. Delhi Chief Minister set to quit. Kejriwal set to enter Haryana Dangal. Will Kejriwal derail Congress's plans? Who will Kejriwal's gambit hurt? Big focus on Newstrack.
We have a power-packed show lined up tonight. Saurabh Bardwaj, Senior Minister of the Aam Aadmi Party, will be joining me in a moment. Also with us will be Lok Sabha BJP Member of Parliament Bansuri Swaraj. Sandeep Dikshit, the son of the former Delhi Chief Minister, former Delhi Congress MP, will be joining us as well. So we'll have some big political faces of the capital looking at politics from their party's lens. But before that, let me take you through the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Ahead of Arvind Kejriwal's resignation, AAP goes into a huddle. MLAs to decide on new Chief Minister tomorrow. Kejriwal to meet Delhi LG and resign at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Protesting Kolkata doctors meet Bengal Chief Minister at her residence. Protesters demand Police Commissioner's resignation and allege a cover-up in the Abhaya rape and murder case. Home Minister Amit Shah ramps up BJP's mission Jammu and Kashmir, says NC Congress alliance won't be able to form the government, pledges to bury terrorism in the valley. Campaigning for the first phase of polls ends.
ये नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार है, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं है भारत की भूमि पर आतंकवाद को फंसाना।
One nation, one election in the works. Sources say the Modi government is mulling a bill in the next parliament session. Opposition hits out, calls it a distant dream. Another Donald Trump assassination bid foiled. Shooting at ex-president's Florida golf club. Shooter nabbed, AK-47 rifle found. By this time tomorrow, Delhi will probably have a new chief minister. Arvind Kejriwal would have resigned. There's suspense in the air about who will be the next CM. Will it be Atishi? Will Kejriwal choose another AAP loyalist, or will he go for a Dalit face? India Today's political bureau with the latest on the Delhi political churn.
मैं सीएम की कुर्सी से इस्तीफा देने जा रहा हूं और मैं तब तक सीएम की कुर्सी पे नहीं बैठूंगा जब तक जनता अपना फैसला ना सुना दे।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal all set to quit his post in hours from now. And now the big question is, who in the Aam Aadmi Party will get the top job? Top Aam Aadmi Party netas and MLAs are holding crucial meet in the national capital to find Kejriwal's successor. While Kejriwal had said 2 days to name the new CM pick, Aam Aadmi Party set a 7-day timeline for vote.
इस्तीफा जैसे ही मंजूर होगा उसके बाद विधायक दल की जो है बैठक होगी। विधायक दल अपना एक नेता चुनेंगे। जो नेता चुना जाएगा वो अपना स्टेक टू पावर, जो अपना क्लेम है, वो उपराज्यपाल के माध्यम से राष्ट्रपति को अपना क्लेम देंगे। क्योंकि कोई ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं है, हमारे 60 विधायक हैं, तो जाहिर सी बात है उनको बुलावा आएगा, और जब वो बुलावा आएगा तो फिर वो जो है अपनी शपथ लेंगे।
But who will replace Kejriwal as Delhi CM? The faces in focus are Atishi, Delhi Minister who has rich governance experience and was chosen by Kejriwal to unfurl tricolour while he was in jail. Another potential name is Kailash Gehlot, Delhi Minister who currently holds several top portfolios and is Kejriwal's trusted aide. Saurabh Bardwaj is a 3-time MLA from Greater Kailash and holds portfolios such as vigilance and health. Minister Gopal Rai's name is also taking rounds as another contender for the CM's job. To add to the suspense, Aam Aadmi Party has not ruled out Kejriwal's wife Sunita for the top job. Sunita had led emotional fight for Kejriwal when he was behind bars.
So you're not ruling out Sunita Kejriwal. Basically, you're saying if the legislators decide that she should be CM, she's one of the candidates as well, whose candidature will be discussed.
Or I am saying exactly what I said 10 minutes ago, that the legislative party has not even met yet. Once the legislative party meets, then only any decision will be taken. And as soon as we take a decision, don't worry Rahul, we will inform you also.
The BJP accused Kejriwal of trying to install a remote-controlled dummy CM.
आप नवंबर में चुनाव कराने की बात कर रहे हैं, आप तुरंत मंत्रिमंडल बर्खास्त कीजिए, तुरंत कीजिए और अक्टूबर में चुनाव कराइए। मैं अग्नि परीक्षा के लिए अरविंद केजरीवाल को चुनौती देता हूं। क्या मतलब है अग्नि परीक्षा का? अग्नि परीक्षा का मतलब है सत्य का सामना करना। तो आओ आपके घर से शुरू करते हैं, खोलिए अपने राजमहल के दरवाजे और पहली अग्नि परीक्षा ये दीजिए कि दिल्ली के हर आदमी को बुलाइए कि आइए मेरा घर देखिए, वो ऐशगाह देखिए, वो राजमहल देखिए जिसमें अरविंद केजरीवाल मैं रहता हूं। आप तो आम आदमी है ना।
Will Kejriwal's big gamble pay off in coming polls, or will liquor scam heat take fresh toll? With Amit Bharadwaj in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Joining us on this broadcast at this time is Senior Aam Aadmi Party Minister Saurabh Bharadwaj. With us from the ruling BJP at the centre is Lok Sabha Member of Parliament Bansuri Swaraj. And we've got Sandeep Dixit, Senior Congress Leader, joining us as well. So three big faces of Delhi politics with us on this broadcast. I first want to go across to my colleague Ashutosh Mishra, who tracked that big Aam Aadmi Party meeting this morning and through the evening and late in the evening the PSC met as well. Ashutosh, give our viewers a sense of what was discussed, who's the front runner, who's most likely to be Chief Minister tomorrow?
Well, all this name, Rahul, that in our report we shown to our viewers, perhaps were considered, and these names are doing around. But again, what my sources are saying, and if my guess is right, the Delhi is going to have another woman as the chief minister. But this time what we have seen in the PAC meeting was something never happened in the past. Arvind Kejriwal calling a PAC meeting, usually the meeting which lasts 20-25 minutes, this went around 1 hour 35 minutes. And this time, perhaps first time ever, he met all these members of the PAC individually, taking their opinion about the situation. Probably the names of the chief minister has not been discussed. What should be the next step? What should be the strategy? Where, what should be the party doing next? Because I know that there is tomorrow meeting and they all know that there is tomorrow legislative party meeting has been called. So on that terms, the Kejriwal's idea is to gain a consensus. What I'm also hearing that most of these people told Arvind Kejriwal, whatever decision the party hierarchy takes, whatever decision Arvind Kejriwal takes, they will support it. Now it comes the final, again it will come to the Kejriwal when the observers tomorrow in the legislative party meet will propose a name. And of course, the name will be chosen by Arvind Kejriwal, whether there is consensus. At large, we have seen whenever Arvind Kejriwal projects something, there is always a consensus. So on that name, it is most likely coming on Atishi. But there are other names which are doing around, also includes Rakhi Bidlan and of course Kuldeep Kumar being a Dalit face. But now there is barely 4 months left. The administration will be critical. Some key schemes need to be implemented. And of course, you need a face who, in terms of working style, literally matches the idea and the style of Arvind Kejriwal. And on that, it is Atishi, who knows the style of functioning with Manish Sisodia not being part of the government, but has worked and has the administrative experience, Rahul.
Ashutosh Mishra, thank you for joining us. We'll come back to you for more later. I want to go across to Saurabh Bharadwaj now. Saurabh, I thought you would be one of the front runners as well. You're a senior minister, trusted aide. ये सारे नाम ले रहे हैं, आपका उसमें नाम क्यों नहीं आ रहा है?
I think I met Ashutosh probably an hour back, and whatever I think he's briefing is quite correct. But yes, there are no names which are taking rounds. These are all basically speculations, and what I believe is that no name has been discussed. But yes, senior Atishi being a senior member of our cabinet, her name is being discussed widely. Similarly, Rakhi Bidla, similarly Kuldeep Kumar's Gopal Rais and Kailash Gehlot. So all these names are doing rounds and it is just speculation. And
so let me ask you the question differently. Saurabh bhai, let me ask you the question differently. What kind of a chief minister do you think Delhi needs at this time?
I'm not in the list.
Okay, so you're ruling yourself out. You're saying Saurabh Bhardwaj is not in the race to be the next chief minister. This is clear?
Yes, I am not in the discussion. Yes, this is clear.
But why not? Why not? If I look at the list, you are as qualified as anybody else. Why are you ruling yourself out?
Yes. No, everybody is qualified. But you asked me, so I, answered you. And what I believe is that for these 4 months, we need a chief minister who can help us, continue the governance, what we have in Delhi. And secondly, every narrative or every campaign will be towards bringing Mr. Arvind Kejriwal back in the chief minister's position.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Mr. Bhardwaj. What kind of a chief minister do you think the Aam Aadmi Party government needs in Delhi at this moment? Given that Arvind Kejriwal has said he will not be CM, Manish Sisodia will not be CM, you're saying you will not be CM. So forget getting into a particular name, but understanding the political context, what kind of a CM do you think Delhi and AAP requires at this moment?
I think somebody who can, take care of the government right now.
No, but that's a very simple, of course, his job is to take care of the government. That's a very, you understood the depth of my question. You chose to answer it in a very simplistic fashion because you
I understood. Rahul ji, I know you are a veteran journalist, a senior editor, and I know your questions will drive me towards an answer, and I don't want to give an answer for that because I don't know the answer. I can't say that, oh, the chief minister should be the one who wears sari, oh, the chief minister should be the one who wears kurta pajama. I don't want to give any clues because I don't know.
Sure. The BJP is calling this a publicity stunt. Many said ye PM ka birthday unhone janbujh ke because the PM will have his events, they've gone and announced it. Ye sare ka sara ye PR stunt kar rahe hain.
No. I think if BJP wants to do a similar political stunt, they are most welcome to do it. They have governments in almost 22 states. They have 22 chief ministers. So any one of their chief minister can resign and say that, I want to go for, public's litmus test, Agni Pariksha, and they can take away all this publicity from Arvind Kejriwal. Why should only Arvind Kejriwal enjoy this publicity? It is open for everyone. Even the Prime Minister on his birthday can resign and he can say that, I got just 240. I want to go for a re-poll. I want to go for a Agni Pariksha and let this birthday be, Prime Minister will be all over the world. All over the world media, there will be only Mr. Modi if he does this, and it is open.
No, but try and explain the deeper rationale. Is this really an attempt to try and wash off 10 years of anti-incumbency? Because if Kejriwal had been chief minister when you went to the voters for the next Delhi election, he would have been answerable directly and accountable to the voters. Now when there's another CM, it gives him some distance between the post of the chief minister and his political persona. Are you trying to create some distance to try and push away some of the anti-incumbency?
No, I think if you give this chance to any chief minister in the country and you tell him that, we are giving you this chance that you resign 6 months before it and, all the anti-incumbency will be washed away. No chief minister will agree to it, You have to literally push people out like Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar or for that matter anybody else. When you change chief ministers, it is not easy. And you don't change a chief minister and say that, we are contesting this election again in the same of the incumbent chief minister. Here is a situation where a sitting chief minister who is out on bail, who has now the chief minister's position waiting for him, he is saying, no, I don't want to sit on this chair. I want to go back to the people. I want to give this Agni Pariksha. I am hurt that for 2 years there have been frivolous allegations against me. Nothing has been proved in 2 years. Not even a trial has started. Even the court, the Supreme Court has said that the CBI, the premier investigating agency, is acting like a caged parrot. This is what the Supreme Court has said about CBI. And it should try to work on the perception that it is not just independent, it should be perceived to be independent by the people. That means the people are perceiving investigating agencies as biased against the opposition parties. In spite of all these facts, here is a chief minister who is saying, no, I'll not sit on this chair. I don't want to enjoy power. I want to go back to the people and I want to stand this Agni Pariksha. If the people of this Delhi believe that I'm honest, I'm imandar, they will vote me back to power. Otherwise, I'll go home. So here's the chief minister who is taking this risk.
How important is the Haryana Assembly election for the Aam Aadmi Party?
You need to have a...
At this moment, the Congress is in a direct fight with the BJP. AAP is a marginal third force. How much energy will you put into the Haryana elections? How do you respond to concerns that the more AAP and Kejriwal campaign, the more you could potentially benefit the BJP in Haryana?
Rahul ji, if you have, tracked the way Arvind Kejriwal campaigns in different states while he's the chief minister of Delhi, you have seen, he is the one who can dedicate a lot of time. He dedicated a lot of time to Punjab when we were contesting Punjab. Similarly, he went so many times to Gujarat. We, in fact, spent a lot of time in Goa, Himachal. So Arvind Kejriwal, being the national convener of the party, being the chief minister of Delhi, he has his own ways of, balancing time. And I think this is something which is true even for the Prime Minister. While being the Prime Minister, he is able to spend a lot of time in political campaigns across different states. So that is not a problem. I don't think, if he is not the Chief Minister of Delhi, he will camp in Haryana. No. Even if he is not the Chief Minister of Delhi, he will stay in Delhi. He will obviously go to Haryana, campaign there, come back.